if money didn't exist, what would you spend your time doing? Probably creating some cool stuff, man. I've got a really itchy creative bone. That's what not too many people know about me. I grew up very musical. I grew up playing guitar, singing, and playing piano. I was quite a musical kid. I was a triple threat. And I remember being like 11, 10, 12 years old and writing music. And then I'd perform it and win awards. That was like at 10 years old. So, that kind of compulsivity to try creative things, that's something that I've always wanted to explore. So yeah, if it wasn't for, the capitalistic structures that be, I'd probably be maybe even doing more music things, or this thing does not want to stay still today. Things of that nature, that's probably what I'll be doing. What's something that you pretend doesn't bother you but does? Well, I just recently lost, a close friend of mine, a formerly close friend. And that's been pretty painful, but I wouldn't act like that's not hurting me. Like, I've been vocal about it. But that's something that I've just had to deal with, especially because we didn't end on the best terms. God gives and takes. What's a risk? Mila, what's going on? What's up, Tia? Mila said, what's a risk you know you should take but haven't? Well, hiring a full-time closer was a recent risk that I recently took that I should have potentially taken prior. And I'm excited. They're probably going to get their first deal in this week or tomorrow, because some of us work about 6 or 7 days a week. And that was something that I'll probably be doubling down on. Like, I can see myself in March hiring 2 new full-time closers, not just like part-time closer or part-time account manager / closer. It's like a full-time closer where that's the only thing that they do. Another thing that I should be doing is traveling more for business. And that's something that I struggle to justify. But again, I'll probably meet up with like my ops manager and head of sales in person in the next couple of months. There's a client of ours that's going to be running a fashion show in Southeast Asia in April or May. I might attend that as well. It's a pretty decent sized client of ours. What's up, Akeem? Long time, bro. I hope you're well. What's up, Moses? Alvin said, what would your 18-year-old would my 18-year-old self be impressed with me? Yes and no. My 18-year-old self will be happy that I finally grew a business to the size that it is at. But basketball-wise, my 18-year-old self definitely would have thought I'd be in the NBA. I probably would have thought I'd be richer than I would be at 26, 25. But I'm also very grateful for, I think 18-year-old me would have been grateful for the progress and like it actually materialized, like the craziness, not just like the ego of it, like it actually happened. What's a habit that quietly improved your life? Regulating my nervous system. And that's a bit technical, but it's rare for me to get like stressed. Like, I could have $0 in my bank account. I've been there multiple times. I could be at risk. I could have lost a friend. I lost a friend of mine, like I said, like literally yesterday afternoon. And like 5 minutes after I heard the news, I was back on demos. Like, I had to relax. I lead a 60-person organization. So my nervous system, controlling that's been really important. Albin said, if today repeated for 5 years, would you be proud or disappointed? I'd be disappointed because I feel like if you're not growing, you're dying. So a big mistake that people make is they'll hit a certain level of progression or financial success or romantic success. Maybe because the thing is that the person that you date is a reflection of your standards, right? But the thing is, if you think you've made it, then the external reality is a reflection of your internal standards. So if I'm comfortable here, and by the time I'm 30, 5 years from now, I'm still here, well, like statistically, I'm still an outlier and I'm doing well by society's metrics. But a lot of society's metrics, someone just told us that was something to be proud of. Like, for example, someone told you that $100,000 is a lot of money. Someone told you that $1 million is a lot of money. Someone told you that 100 million is a lot of money. But like, someone told you these things doesn't mean that these things are. So when you realize that these things are not real and that you can actually select what your floor is, the way you look at progression changes, because you're like, well, I now know that I could progress at this level, and if I keep progressing at this level each year, well, it's not an additional game; it's a multiplication game. It's multiplying, right? So I would not be satisfied if I was remaining at the level I was now, simply because I know that where I am now is a function of the first 3 years being really, really slow, and then 1 year just catapulting upwards. And